When I first started solving the Rubik's Cube, it actually all started with a birthday gift from my girlfriend on my 20th birthday. She got me a GAN 328, and honestly that little cube was basically the start of my cubing journey. But after learning how to solve and improve a little bit, I eventually decided to get my first actual Speedcube, and from there the upgrades just kept happening. From my first sticker cube to my first stickerless cube, my first magnetic cube, and eventually my first flagship. So today I'm going to compare all 4 of those Speedcubes I've owned throughout my journey and see which one is actually the best, starting from my cheapest cube all the way to my most expensive. So yeah, let's get into it. First up, we have my very first Speedcube, the QiYi Sail W. After solving on it a few times, I actually started to really like this cube. At first though, when I got it, I wasn't really a fan because it had stickers. The more I used it, the more I got comfortable with it. The problem is, as my turning started getting a lot quicker, I noticed that I started getting more lockups. And when you're trying to turn fast on this cube, of course the cube will basically be like... But honestly, I would still recommend this cube for beginners who are just starting out. It's simple, affordable, and it was a great starting point for me. The only sad part is it doesn't come with magnets, and the adjustment system is just a basic screw. So yeah, but still it's a really good cube, and as I started improving, I guess it was time for an upgrade. Next up is my first stickerless non-magnetic cube, the Ruilong. I actually bought this from my local market, and I still remember how good it felt straight out of the box. And honestly, even now it still performs really well. I don't use it as much anymore, mostly because at the time I still really like using the Sail W. But there are definitely things that this cube does better. First of all, it's really smooth. The size is a little bit bigger, I think. It feels a bit blocky than the Sail W. But the thing that really surprised me was the corner cutting. Like, what? For a cube that only costs like around 180 pesos, the corner cutting really is amazing. And even now I can still get at least sub 25 on this cube. Just like the Sail W, it only uses basic screw system and no magnets. But if you're looking for a cheap cube that feels smoother and gives you fewer lockups, I would honestly suggest checking this one out. And for the price, it's pretty good. So yeah, if you want to check this out, I think they do sell these at your local mall. So yeah. Now it's time for my first magnetic cube. The MoYu RS3M V5 Maglev. This cube honestly blew my mind, and straight out of the box, I absolutely loved that crisp, smooth feeling. It was literally dry at first, and obviously it needed some breaking in, but once I started using it, ooh, this was so different. This was actually the cube where I started getting really serious about speedcubing, and when I first got this cube I was only around like sub 50, and while using this cube I started learning proper cross, F2L, OLL, and PLL. So yeah, this cube has definitely been part of a huge chunk of my improvement. One thing I immediately noticed was how fast it was as well. The maglev system makes this thing absolutely fly, and honestly I love fast cubes. The corner cutting is really good, and the magnets they feel right. It's not too strong and not too weak either. But let's be honest here, the purple internals, come on, it's absolutely beautiful. After using it for weeks though, I noticed it started getting a little dry. And since I had basically been using this thing like non-stop since day one, I finally decided to get like proper lube and learn how to actually maintain my cubes. And yeah, after months of using these cubes, I can confidently say that I would definitely recommend the RS3M V5 Maglev. There are other versions of this cube as well. I actually tried the dual adjustment version, which uses springs instead of maglev. My girlfriend has one because I bought her one. I also got her the maglev version too, because she liked the purple internals as well. So yeah, and who knows, maybe in another video I'll try to compare the RS3M V5 ball core, since I'm planning on buying one as well, probably on my birthday. So yeah, Stay tuned. And now, the big upgrade. The final cube on this list is my first flagship cube. Well, not exactly the most expensive flagship version. This is the WeiLong V11 Magnetic version because it was the version I could afford. But honestly, I am pretty impressed with this cube. First of all, the white internals, I love them. The exposed magnets also give the cube a stronger magnetic feel and really helps with alignment. Another thing I noticed is this cube responds really well to the lube I'm using, which is GAN number 2. So it's it's smooth and fast. When I got this cube, I was already averaging around like sub 28. And compared to the RS3M V5 Maglev, this cube definitely isn't as fast because this version uses springs instead of maglev. And as someone who loves fast cubes, that took a little getting used to. But after experimenting with the settings, I found what works for me. I set both elasticity and compression to level 1, and honestly that setup changed everything. After practicing with it, I started getting around sub 25, and I really started loving how this cube felt. Even after cleaning and lubing it, it still has that nice out of the box feeling that I really love. My RS3M V5 after months of use eventually lost that frosted feeling, and honestly I kinda missed it, but the WeiLong V11 still has that fresh feeling, and that's one of the reasons I enjoy using it so much. And because I like this magnetic version so much, I'm honestly considering getting the 20 magnet ball core version someday. So yeah, this cube is pretty cool. Love it. So after trying all 4 of the Speedcubes I've owned throughout my cubing journey, I think I've come to one conclusion. More expensive doesn't always mean better. My QiYi Sail W might be the cheapest cube here, but honestly it was the cube that really helped me get started with speedcubing. The YJ Ruilong surprised me because for around 180 Philippine pesos, the corner cutting is actually insane, and even today I can still get some pretty decent times on it. And then there's the RS3M V5 Maglev. This was the cube that took me from being a beginner to actually taking speedcubing more seriously. It really helped me through learning proper cross, F2L, OLL, and PLL, and I still absolutely love how fast it is. And finally, my current main, the WeiLong V11 Magnetic Edition. It's not the fastest cube I own, but after finding the right settings, it just fits my turning style really well. The stronger magnets, the lighter feel, and just the overall feeling of the cube made me fall in love with it. So if I had to rank them, for beginners I would go for the QiYi Sail W. Maybe best budget surprise, the YJ Ruilong. Best for speed, I would go for the RS3M V5 Maglev. And my personal favorite being the WeiLong V11 Magnetic version. But here's the funny thing, even though the WeiLong V11 is my main now, I still find myself going back to the RS3M V5 sometimes because of how fast it is. So I guess the real winner isn't necessarily the most expensive cube, it's the cube that feels right for you. And honestly, looking at all 4 of these cubes together is kind of crazy, because each one represents a different part of my cubing journey, from my first actual Speedcube to where I am now, and I'm definitely not done yet. So if you enjoyed this video, feel free to leave a like and subscribe, and yeah, if you want to follow my cubing journey. So yeah, this is NoNoCube, and I'll see you in my next solve.